I, 37 male, divorced my wife, 35 female, after she got cancer and cheated. Original post. My ex-wife and I were married for 10 years when she got cancer at 33, stage 1 breast cancer. She had a hard time, but with surgery she got through it. I took time off work to look after her and was with her the entire time as we had moved away from our family. I noticed that she changed a lot after, which is expected after going through something so major. She wanted more from her life than just a 9-to-5 job, so ended up quitting to travel for a bit and just doing whatever she wanted. At first, I went with her because I wanted her to be happy, and this reminded me of her younger self. But that kind of lifestyle blew through our savings, so I went back to work and basically funded her new lifestyle. While it was exhausting, I didn't care that much because I loved her, and seeing her so happy and full of life after everything she went through was good enough for me. However, one day I heard her talking to her friend over the phone about not feeling satisfied with just me, and that she wanted to sleep with other people. I was shocked and didn't know what to do, especially since our intimate life had been much more active during that time. So hearing her say that was horrible. That evening she brought it up and said she wanted to be in an open marriage. By that point, I had enough time to think and realized there was no way I was okay with that. She explained that I was her first boyfriend and that she had never been with anyone before me. We met in high school, so she wanted to try being with other people. I told her straight that I was not okay with that. We argued for a while, but she eventually said she wouldn't do anything and that she was sorry. Fast forward, she lied, and I caught her a couple weeks later. So we divorced. It was hard, and I was completely broken during the whole thing, and it took me a long time to heal. I couldn't believe that after everything, she could do that to us and throw away 10 years of marriage. It's been nearly 2 years after the divorce now, and yesterday she contacted me through a friend asking to meet up. I was reluctant, but agreed. Seeing her again today brought back so many feelings. We small talked for a bit, then she asked me if I was seeing anyone. I said I wasn't, and then she started saying that divorcing me was the biggest regret of her life. After we separated, she went through a hard time and tried to fill my void by seeing multiple other people, but nothing worked. She then dropped a bomb that she wants to get back together with me. She had actually been asking around about me before this, and when she found out that I hadn't been with anyone since our divorce, she assumed I felt the same way. I left feeling dumbfounded and saying I needed time to think. I genuinely don't know what to do, because there's a part of me that wants to believe she did all that because of everything she went through. But at the same time, I don't think that's an excuse. Should I give her a chance to explain before I make a decision? Because I feel like I walked out on her before she could. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Don't put yourself through that, man. She made her decision a long time ago. What happens the next time she gets bored? Thank you for saying that. I went through the exact same thing. My ex-husband left me for another woman. It wasn't 6 months later that he came to me wanting to come back. My heart said yes, but my mind said no. I could not go through that pain again, as I had physical pain in my heart when it happened. The trust was broken, and I couldn't get it back. Yeah, she showed her true colors. Completely agree, and I hope she read all these responses. And if you are ex-wife of OP, just a question. Truly, how many guys did it take for you to realize what you did and why you want OP back? More than 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, 200, 1,000? OP, if you were even going to think about it, ask her how many, as that might change your mind anyways. I normally did not care about a number, nor do I ask, but in this case, I do think it matters. In addition, ex-wife of OP, any of your friends who were complicit and encouraged your behavior should be removed from your life. So let me get this straight. You and her have been together since you were teenagers. Y'all built a life together. You literally nursed her through the toughest time of her life. She then gets the notion that she hasn't gotten enough out of life? But the enough was other men? So she asked to open the marriage, which most likely was in bad faith because he caught her cheating not long after. So who knows how long she was doing it? Y'all divorce and she proceeds to screw whoever her heart desires, just to realize that none of them cared about her nowhere near the way you did. So now she wants you to come back after she has had her fill in the streets and manipulate her way back into your life. And you're asking if you should hear her side of things? Well, ask yourself this. Would she be able to say anything that would undo what she has done to you? Would she be able to say anything that would make you be able to trust and believe in her again? Is there any explanation she could offer that would keep you from being insecure the next time she begins to act differently? If not, then I would save myself the anguish and go about your life and work towards happiness. Good luck, OP. You forgot the part where he worked to fund her world travel and her adventures without him because one of them had to work to fund her. Imagine how many dudes she was banging while traveling on his dime. What a scumbag. She was just trying to fill the void. Now for the update. I really didn't expect this many people to reply. To cut things short, she found out. I forgot she was an active user of this sub, and the events lined up enough for her to know it was me. I woke up to a message from her this morning. She said that she saw and was so sorry. After seeing what I wrote, she got to see my side of things. But the thing is, she really didn't. What I put out here is a fraction of what I felt and went through, so she'll never really know. She also said that cancer is a life-changing thing, and the fact that I stuck with her would be something she was eternally grateful for. The whole thing terrified her, and it changed her as a person. And one day when she woke up next to some dude and looked over and realized she had become a completely different person, one that she didn't recognize, she realized what she had done and how badly she messed up. At first, she didn't want to contact me because she knew that would be selfish. But then, she didn't want to live with regret by never trying, in case there was ever a chance I would forgive her. She's willing to wait forever if it means I could forgive her. She also asked why I hadn't been with anyone since her, and a lot of you mentioned the same. To be honest, I didn't actively try with other people because I didn't want to bring all this baggage into a new relationship, especially not before I had tried to fix my issues. And I think this is a good closure for me. After seeing a lot of your replies, I know there isn't really a chance for me to forget what she did. But I do want to forgive her as a way to move on, and I messaged her all this before replying here. Next story. My 31 male, soon-to-be ex-wife 28 female wants to talk about us. But I feel like it's too late now. I 31 male, I'm divorcing my future ex 28 female. It has been a very long and painful process. We've been together for 9 years, married for 7, and the last 3 we've been separated. During our marriage, she never really treated me like I was her husband. Her parents and family always came before me. No matter what I would say or do, she wouldn't change. A few examples are, when I had broken my leg/foot, she yelled at me for days to clean out the garage until I did, even though I physically couldn't walk on my leg. Or making me walk to get my car out of the shop because she couldn't wait 15 minutes to go to her mom's house. If she didn't take me, I wasn't able to get in my car. Those are just 2 of many similar situations. For years, I begged her to start treating me like her partner, and not just an accessory. I was always open with how things affected me, and I would put aside time to talk to her about things. I'm not one to hold things in and let them build up. So I told her that if the behavior continues, I would file for divorce. The worst part is being with someone that makes you feel alone. And I just can't handle that type of relationship. She swears she's worked on it, but that's only after 3 years of being separated, and we're coming up on a final hearing. I feel bad, because due to her religion she can't be remarried, and I just can't put my mental health at risk again. What would you guys do in this situation? I would tell her that it's too little too late, and that you no longer want her in your life in any capacity. Any future problems she has are, to be honest, not your problem at all. They are the result of her unwillingness to be a decent partner. Yep, OP was in an abusive relationship and deserves better. OP, if you see this, be sure to set boundaries from the start and don't tolerate any crossing of lines. Some people get way too comfortable walking on others without any consideration. Do you know that she's asking to reconcile? Is that something she's brought up in the recent past? That seems very unlikely 3 years into separation. She was asking for a lot of money and she didn't end up getting anything really. I told her if she truly wanted to reconcile, she could have done that during the divorce agreement. Instead, she was trying to squeeze as much money out of me as she could. I feel like that's the only reason she's trying to. Up until this point, I was leaning towards maybe her viewpoint had changed and circumstances will force her to grow up. And then this. Move on. As a remarried man to a different woman, I know there's a large stigma to have to work through, but your soon-to-be ex-wife isn't worth the investment on your part any longer. She's remorseful now not because she accepts her wrongdoing, but because she needs a punching bag again. She's probably realized that she's not going to find someone else who will take her abuse, and that's exactly what she did to you. So she wants to drag you back into her trap. You did well to leave. Keep going and don't look back. P.S. It says a lot about her character that her religion doesn't approve of divorce, but is seemingly okay with spousal abuse. Last story. My husband, 42 male, told me 36 female he wasn't ever attracted to me, but married me because he would have felt bad ending it. We've been together for 6 years and married for 4. No kids. For context, I'd be described as conventionally attractive and I'd take care of myself. I'm fit, athletic, well-educated, and have a fun personality. I think it's important to mention that, since there's no glaring issue for him to feel this way. My husband is successful, charming, and the type of person who gets along with everyone. Shortly after we married, we relocated from Canada to Europe for his work. I supported this and gave up a job I liked. That was essentially my career, my friends, and a city I felt really home in. Now I'm in a foreign country where I only speak the local language at a low level, trying to build my own business and have very little of a support system. I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends about this whole situation. This is where it gets interesting. On multiple occasions, he's apologized for our lack of romantic life. There isn't one to speak of, and rarely has been since we've been together. He's told me it's not normal for him, and it was different with other women in the past. He's used to being with really beautiful women. He's also said recently that he was never attracted to me in that way, but didn't want to break up with me when we first started dating. I told him he should have ended it then, because now I live a lie and gave up everything to support him. But he just suggested we have an open relationship if I wanted to meet other men, and he would even pay for a male escort. He used an old iPhone of mine a few years ago and never logged out of his iCloud. I see that he still screenshots pictures of his ex from IG. He also believes that no one is really happy in their marriage, and that romantic love is not something that lasts long term. I don't know what to do. I had to give up my job to support his career, but I never thought it would come to this. I can't support myself with my new job yet, and I don't come from a wealthy family, while he's very successful financially. My family and friends love him and think he's the perfect guy. From the outside, we're the perfect couple, but the reality is a disaster that I battle every day. My self-esteem and confidence have taken a nosedive. I could just ignore everything and live a comfortable life, but I would be living a lie. And he thinks we should stay together because we get along in every other way. I know no relationship is perfect, but this is so far beyond normal that I'm not sure how to deal with it. I've suggested therapy, but he says that doesn't work. He wants to stay together and basically stay as partners. So, anyone been through this or have advice? Take some of the money's offering for you to hire escorts and buy a one-way ticket home. Re-establish your career and make a life for yourself. Why would you want to stay with somebody who regrets marrying you? You deserve better. This is one thing that really bothers me. Him offering that is like saying she can't have someone if she's not paying. That's sick. For me, he is trying to break her confidence so she doesn't leave, and he can have the face of the perfect marriage without having to actually be in a relationship. There is no emotional support. He's being cruel. For me, he is trying to break her confidence. Yes, his comments sound like negging, or like the bashes people with severe narcissistic trait do. His statements likely aren't even true, but a tactic to bring her down. She's in a foreign country, somewhat isolated, without funds or a career, and now he attacks her self-esteem. OP, run if you can. If you are in Germany and feel comfortable, please feel free to contact me, and I'll take a look with you what your options here may be. Please keep in mind that those tactics, isolation, financial independence, attacking your self-esteem can be a warning sign for domestic abuse. These things do not necessarily lead to physical harm, but no physical harm without those things. Don't go looking for a way to stay with them, especially no therapy. Therapy with people that hit so low verbally will only lead to them having more fodder to attack your self-esteem, or even Darvo in therapy speak. Please find a will to leave. A way will show up then. If you stay, you'll be giving up on yourself. You'd be giving up the possibility of ever being with anyone who thinks you're beautiful. You'd be giving up on finding someone who feels lucky to have you. Don't settle for a settler. I agree with this. Opie, you're 36, so we are close in age, and it's never too late to start over again. Your whole marriage is a lie, and these years have been wasted. But don't deny yourself the chance of a better future. Please don't give up on yourself, Opie. I was going to add too that 36 is not too old at all to start over. Divorced my first husband at 35 and just married the love of my life at 45. I'm 46 and couldn't be happier. Future you will appreciate you ending things now. Me too. I was 40 when I left my first husband after 16 years. Long story, but I was miserable because of how he treated me. We had 2 little kids. I was married and never felt so alone. I met my soulmates and remarried at 43. I'm 48 now, and life is grand. It was hard in the beginning financially and emotionally, but it was so worth it.